Welcome back to Dreamy Train Tales. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's settle down and begin our journey together. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so we can explore more historic railways together, but only if it truly helps you unwind. And if you'd like, please share in the comments where you're listening from and what time of day it is for you right now. Tonight, you find yourself standing in the snowy evening chill of Irkutsk station, deep in the heart of Siberia. The year is 1905, and the station is alive with the mingling sounds of footsteps crunching across packed snow, muffled conversations wrapped in warm breaths, and the steady hiss of steam rising into the frozen air. Lanterns glow in soft amber halos, their light catching the edges of snowflakes drifting lazily from the sky. A great plume of smoke curls upward from the locomotive, black against the pale, star-speckled sky, its iron bulk waiting with quiet strength to carry you across this frost-bound land. Before we begin this journey together, take a moment to settle in wherever you are. Let your shoulders ease downward, as though the weight of the day is melting away. Take a deep breath, cool and steady, and let it drift out slowly, as if your breath itself is joining the steam clouds of the waiting locomotive. The gentle rhythm of this historic railway will carry you forward, guiding you into rest. You step closer to the train, your boots crunching through snow that sparkles under the station's gas lamps. The wooden platform creaks faintly beneath you, and around you travelers draw their coats tighter, adjusting scarves and hats. The Orient-bound route stretches thousands of miles, but tonight your journey takes you only across a small stretch toward the frozen wonder of Lake Baikal. The Trans-Siberian Railway, still a marvel of engineering just 5 years after its ceremonial completion in 1900, has already become a symbol of connection between Europe and the far reaches of Asia. The Irkutsk station itself is a hub of life, where Russian merchants, weary travelers, and families exchange warm farewells and hopeful greetings. You pause to listen to the whistle's low cry as it echoes across the night, a sound that vibrates softly through your chest, steady and resonant. You imagine the firemen feeding logs into the glowing furnace, sparks snapping upward, filling the iron belly of the locomotive with heat that will soon radiate down the length of the train. Inside the carriages, soft lamplight flickers against polished wood and brass fittings, promising warmth and comfort once you step aboard. As you place your hand on the rail, the cold iron bites against your glove, a sharp contrast to the glow spilling from the carriage windows. You climb the steps slowly, feeling the sway of the train beneath you, already alive with quiet motion. Inside, the air is warm and faintly perfumed with wood smoke and polished leather. Velvet seats await, deep and inviting, their texture soft beneath your gloved hand. The corridor carries the gentle hum of voices, muffled by thick curtains drawn against the cold. Every sound seems softened, wrapped in the hush of snowfall outside. You settle into your seat, the window beside you framing the frozen platform where lanterns shimmer and passengers hurry with their belongings. The rhythm of the engine pulses faintly through the cabin, a steady heartbeat that invites your body to relax into its cadence. You feel yourself gently swaying as the brakes release, and the wheels below begin their first slow turn. The train shudders, then smooths into motion, pulling you away from the station lights and into the enveloping night. Outside, the city fades into shadow, rooftops heavy with snow, chimneys exhaling thin trails of smoke into the starlit air. In the distance, the frozen Angara River lies hidden beneath ice and drifting fog, its silence a companion to the train's steady clatter. This river, the only outlet of the mighty Lake Baikal, has long been a lifeline for the people of this region, its banks now lined with villages glowing faintly with lamplight. As the wheels quicken their rhythm, your breathing naturally falls in step with the sound, steady and even, like the gentle beating of a drum. You lean back, shoulders releasing further into the comfort of the seat, the warmth of the carriage wrapping around you as the snowy wilderness begins to unfold. The Trans-Siberian Railway stretches endlessly east and west, yet tonight it feels like your own private passage into tranquility, carrying you calmly into the deep heart of Siberia. The glow of Irkutsk fades behind you, replaced by the silver expanse of night and snow. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the hushed chorus of iron, wood and snow mingling together into a lullaby as the journey begins. The train presses deeper into the Siberian wilderness, the rhythm of the wheels steady now, like a patient heartbeat guiding you forward. Through the window, you watch the vast taiga stretch endlessly in every direction, a sea of white broken only by the dark silhouettes of pines and birch trees. Their branches bend beneath the heavy weight of snow, some bowing almost to the frozen ground, while others stand tall and skeletal, their limbs stark against the pale horizon. The night sky is clear, the moon sitting low and full, casting a silver glow that reflects off the snow so brightly it almost seems to glow from within. Stars shimmer faintly above, scattered like frozen embers caught in the still air. Inside the carriage, warmth surrounds you, cocooning you in comfort as the winter world outside rushes by. The lamps burn softly, their yellow light pooling across polished wood and brass fittings, reflecting gently off the glass. The faint scent of pine mingles with leather and smoke, grounding you in the cozy space. Your body begins to surrender more deeply to the sway of the carriage, your shoulders softening further, your jaw loose and easy, your breath falling naturally into rhythm with the wheels. You feel your muscles releasing, as though they have decided to rest along with the land outside. From time to time, the train passes a clearing, and the world opens briefly into a vast expanse of snow. Rivers lie silent beneath thick crusts of ice, their surfaces glowing faintly in the moonlight, and across them the train's reflection flickers for a heartbeat before vanishing into shadow again. These frozen waterways were once treacherous to cross, and in the earliest years of the Trans-Siberian, whole carriages had to be pulled across the ice by horse-drawn sledges before permanent tracks were laid. The memory of those daring crossings seems to whisper in the night air, reminding you of the courage and effort required to carve this iron road across the wildest reaches of Russia. You lean back, the seat supporting your weight with velvet softness, and allow your eyelids to lower slightly, though not fully. The world blurs at the edges, but the rhythm of the journey holds you steady. The sound of the wheels becomes a lullaby, repeating, reliable, each click and clatter a reassurance that you are carried forward, safe within this rolling sanctuary. The forests grow denser as the train moves farther from Irkutsk. The taiga here is vast beyond measure, stretching for thousands of miles, one of the largest forests on Earth. Beneath the snow, foxes move silently, their paws light upon the crust, while owls glide between branches, unseen except for the soft shadow of their wings. Wolves roam too, though from your warm seat you know them only as distant presences, spirits of the land more than real threats. You imagine their eyes glinting in the moonlight, following the train as it moves through their ancient hunting grounds. The thought is not frightening, but strangely comforting, as though the wilderness itself is watching over you, keeping silent company on this night's passage. The conductor passes softly through the corridor, his steps quiet, the brass buttons of his uniform catching the lamplight. He adjusts a curtain here, checks a lamp there, and then his footsteps fade again, leaving only the hush of the train's breath. The carriage sways, and you allow your body to sway with it, unresisting, as if you and the train are now one being moving together through the Siberian dark. The Trans-Siberian Railway had been completed only a few years earlier, in 1900, though its construction stretched across more than a decade. Thousands of workers, soldiers, and peasants toiled in brutal conditions, carving through permafrost, bridging endless rivers, and laying track across unforgiving plains. Many perished, and yet the line endured, binding Moscow to Vladivostok in a single continuous chain. Tonight, as you glide effortlessly across the frozen earth, you carry with you the echoes of their labor, their breath, their footsteps, their hands. Frost gathers on the window beside you, curling into delicate fern-like patterns, growing thicker as the night deepens. You raise a gloved hand and trace lightly across the glass, the warmth of your finger leaving a small patch of clarity. Through it, you glimpse the forest rolling by, moonlight shimmering on the snow. For a moment, you feel as though you are looking not out of the train but into a dream, a place suspended outside of time, where the only sound is the patient clatter of wheels and the soft sigh of wind against the carriages. The villages grow sparser as the train pushes eastward. A few flickering lights glow faintly in the distance, windows of wooden houses tucked against the edge of the forest. Smoke rises from chimneys, curling upward into the sky before vanishing in the still night air. These settlements survive on endurance, bound together by family, fire, and faith. They watch the great iron train pass by, perhaps waving unseen in the darkness, their lives touched briefly by its thunder before silence returns. Your breathing deepens with the rhythm of the journey. Each inhale draws in calm, each exhale releases the weight of the day. You imagine yourself merging with the soundscape, the steady heartbeat of the wheels, the deep hum of the locomotive, the faint creak of wood. All of it blends into one steady presence, and you are a part of it now, carried smoothly across the frozen heart of Siberia. The train rounds a gentle curve, and suddenly the trees part, revealing a frozen expanse that stretches wide beneath the stars. It is a vast plain, glittering like crushed glass under the moon. In the distance, faint ridges mark the rise of low hills, their outlines softened by drifting snow. The sight holds your gaze, and for a moment you feel weightless, as if floating above the world. The view passes, the forest closes in again, but the calm it leaves within you lingers. You shift slightly in your seat, pulling the blanket closer around your legs, and allow your body to sink even further into comfort. The journey continues, each moment drawing you deeper into stillness, each mile unfolding like a whispered story of the land. The train glides onward into the Siberian night, the steady rhythm of the wheels guiding you toward the vast frozen expanse of Lake Baikal. The sway of the carriage is slow and reassuring, the sound of the iron rails weaving a lullaby as steady as your own heartbeat. You sit quietly, breathing in rhythm with the train, each inhale drawn deep and cool, each exhale drifting out in a soft sigh, leaving your body lighter with every passing moment. The lamp at your side casts a pool of golden light over the polished wood and velvet, but your gaze is drawn beyond the glass, where the horizon begins to open wide. Through the frosted window, you see the first signs of Baikal, the immense lake stretching beneath the winter moon. Even in the dim night, the sheer scale of it steals your breath. The water is locked beneath ice, thick and gleaming, reflecting the pale light of stars as if the heavens have been captured in its frozen surface. At the edges, snowdrifts pile high against jagged rocks, while cliffs rise steeply, dark silhouettes carved into the frozen air. The train curves along the shoreline, and for a long moment it feels as though the carriages themselves are sliding across the lake's vastness, suspended between earth and sky. You lean gently against the cushioned seat, your body loosening further as the rhythm carries you forward. The warmth of the carriage contrasts so completely with the icy scene outside that it feels like two worlds overlapping. The snow glimmers, the lake lies silent, and yet here, you are wrapped in velvet, the faint scent of smoke and leather soothing your senses. Your fingers rest loosely in your lap, the tension gone from them now, as if they too have surrendered to the quiet of this journey. Lake Baikal has long been known as the sacred sea to those who live upon its shores. At over 5,000 feet deep, it is the deepest lake in the world, holding more fresh water than any other. In the year 1905, the Circum-Baikal Railway was newly completed, a marvel of engineering carved through cliffs and tunneled beneath mountains so that the great Trans-Siberian line could continue its unbroken run across Russia. Each arch of stone, each tunnel mouth, each iron bridge speaks of the determination of the men who built them. Their lanterns once flickered in the icy winds, their tools rang out against unyielding stone, until the railway was complete, joining east and west across the wild immensity of Siberia. As the train winds along the shoreline, the cliffs rise close to the tracks, their faces marked by frost and shadow. The whistle sounds, its call echoing against the stone and across the frozen water. The sound lingers, rolling outward until it is lost in the stillness. You let the echo wash through you, the note fading like a deep exhale, leaving your chest softer, looser, more at rest. The lake seems to respond with its own voice, deep groans echoing from within the ice. The sound of the frozen water shifting, alive, even in stillness. These low, resonant cracks stretch across the night, distant yet strangely comforting, like the earth itself breathing beneath the frozen crust. The carriage rocks gently, and you sway with it, your head resting more heavily against the seat. The velvet supports you, warm and unyielding, cradling your weight as your body gives into stillness. Outside, the moon casts silver paths across the lake's surface, the snow shining as though dusted with diamonds. In the distance, you see faint pinpricks of firelight from villages tucked against the shore, their glow softened by drifting snow. Life here is quiet, fragile, yet enduring, warmed by the same fires that have burned for centuries. You picture fishermen once traveling across the ice with sleighs, their figures small against the vastness, guiding horses carefully over frozen paths. Some years, the Trans-Siberian trains themselves were forced to cross the lake on rails laid temporarily over the ice, a daring and dangerous practice before this permanent line was completed. You imagine the groaning of the ice beneath the immense weight. The fear and courage mingled in the hearts of those who traveled then. Compared to those crossings, your journey feels effortless, the train gliding smoothly on tracks firmly carved into the edge of the land. The warmth in the carriage deepens your calm. The lamps flicker gently, their glow steady but soft, casting long shadows across the panelled walls. The quiet murmur of other passengers drifts faintly from the next compartment, hushed and low, words lost to the soothing hum of the train. Somewhere farther down the corridor, a door closes softly, the latch clicking like a distant heartbeat before silence settles again. The train itself becomes your lullaby. Iron wheels, wooden carriages, breath of steam, all woven together into a single, endless rhythm. Your eyes follow the cliffs as they rise higher, tunnels carved through their sides. Each time the train enters one, the world outside disappears. replaced by darkness punctuated by the flicker of lamps. The sound changes too, the click of wheels magnified into echoes that fill the tunnel like a deep organ note, reverberating through the carriages. You feel the vibration in your chest, steady and low, almost like a hum. Then, just as suddenly, the tunnel ends, and the lake reappears in its silver brilliance, more dazzling for the contrast. The rhythm resumes, steady and calm, carrying you further along the edge of Baikal. The night deepens. Stars scatter more thickly across the sky, their reflections shimmering faintly on the ice below. The train rounds another curve, and the view opens to reveal the vast sweep of the lake's center, stretching so far that it seems to blend with the horizon. It is a mirror of the heavens, an ocean of ice reflecting the stars, endless and serene. You gaze at it until your eyes soften, until the boundary between lake and sky disappears, leaving only stillness. You take another slow breath, feeling your chest rise gently, then fall in ease. Each breath is deeper now, more natural, each exhale releasing the last of the tension held in your body. Your arms rest heavily, your legs slack, your back cushioned and supported by the seat. Every part of you feels as though it is being carried, rocked gently, protected in the warmth of this moving sanctuary. Beyond the glass, the cliffs give way to gentler slopes where snowfields stretch wide, their undulating surfaces broken only by the dark lines of trees. Wolves may move there unseen, their tracks vanishing almost as soon as they are made, snow falling endlessly over snow. Owls watch from branches, their feathers muffling every wing beat, silent guardians of the night. The wilderness seems endless, vast beyond comprehension, and yet you feel safe, cocooned within the train, the steady rhythm of its journey a boundary between you and the silent wild. The conductor passes once more, his polished shoes gliding almost noiselessly along the carpeted floor. He nods as he glances toward the window, perhaps pausing for a moment to admire the lake's brilliance himself. Then he adjusts a curtain, checks a lamp, and moves on, leaving the hush of the carriage intact. You listen to the soft sound of his steps fading, replaced again by the endless rhythm of the rails. As the train carries you forward, the soundscape weaves around you, the groan of ice beneath the lake, the whistle echoing against stone, the murmur of the wheels. Each sound folds into the next, soothing and steady, guiding your breath, your heart, your mind into calm. You feel the boundary between your body and the train blur, as though you are no longer a passenger but part of the rhythm itself, moving smoothly, endlessly, gently into rest. You close your eyes, if only for a moment, and the journey continues in the darkness behind your eyelids. You see the silver of the lake, the cliffs rising, the stars scattered across the sky. You hear the soft lull of the wheels, the hush of the night, the sigh of steam. It is all still there, carrying you onward, even as your body sinks more deeply into calm. The train continues its steady passage through the deep winter night, its rhythm slower now, every turn of the wheels carrying you closer to rest. Beyond your window, the forests of Siberia have given way to wide open fields, blanketed in snow that glimmers faintly beneath the pale light of the moon. The stars stretch in a canopy overhead, clear and infinite, their reflections caught in the glass as though you are gazing into a sky both outside and within. The night is still, the air frozen in silence, broken only by the soft sigh of wind against the carriages and the echo of the locomotive's breath. You feel the weight of the blanket across your lap, the gentle pressure, a comfort that anchors you, grounding your body as it softens more deeply into the seat. The velvet cushions cradle you, firm yet yielding, and the warmth of the carriage has grown heavier, lulling, as though the walls themselves hold the stored memory of countless travelers who once rested here. Each breath you take sinks deeper now, drawing calm into your chest, releasing tension with every slow exhale. The train's motion has become almost hypnotic, a rocking that soothes the body as much as the mind. Through the frosted window, faint lights begin to shimmer in the distance. They are small at first, tiny pinpricks against the vast expanse of snow, but as the train rolls onward, they multiply, glowing more brightly until they reveal the outline of a small Siberian settlement. Wooden houses huddle close together, their roofs heavy with snow, chimneys exhaling thin threads of smoke into the cold sky. The smoke curls upward in lazy spirals, disappearing into the night, while the warm glow of lamplight spills faintly from shuttered windows. For the families gathered within, the winter is endured with fire and company, their lives tethered to the rhythm of the land and now, in part, to the iron road that carries you past. The Trans-Siberian Railway, when it first reached these far-flung settlements in the early years of the 20th century, was more than a line of steel. It was a lifeline. Supplies, letters, and people could reach these isolated communities in ways unimaginable only decades before. Tonight, as you pass one such cluster of homes, you feel the significance of this connection, a quiet marvel that such a train could bridge thousands of miles of wilderness, carrying voices and stories across the breadth of a continent. The train slows as it nears the settlement, the wheels easing into a more deliberate rhythm, their song softer, less hurried. The whistle sounds once, low and unhurried, its note echoing across the snowfields before fading into the dark. Your breath follows it, long and steady, each exhale drawing you closer to ease. The sway of the carriage gentles, almost like a cradle, and you feel yourself rocked in perfect balance between wakefulness and rest. You watch as the houses drift past, their windows glowing like lanterns scattered across the snow. You imagine the warmth inside, families gathered near stoves, children drowsing under quilts, voices hushed as the night deepens. Dogs stir in the yards, their forms only shadows, while the snow absorbs every sound, muffling even the trains passing into softness. For a moment, it feels as though the world itself has quieted, pausing to let you pass in peace. Within the carriage, the atmosphere mirrors this hush. Passengers have withdrawn into their berths, curtains drawn, lamps turned low. The corridor is empty, save for the occasional soft step of the conductor making his rounds, his movements careful not to disturb the quiet. The air is warm and close, scented faintly with wood smoke and polished brass, and every surface seems touched by the glow of the low lamps. The train itself feels like a cocoon, wrapped safely against the wild night beyond. Your eyes linger on the frost at the edges of the window, delicate patterns etched like feathers across the glass. Beyond them, the settlement fades into distance, the glow of lamps swallowed by darkness once again. The train presses onward, carrying you deeper into the expanse of night. Each mile feels slower, quieter, as though time itself is easing, stretching, encouraging you to let go. You shift slightly in your seat, the movement small, and the cushions adjust beneath you, welcoming your weight. Your legs grow heavier, your hands loose, your head resting back more fully now. You notice the rhythm of your breathing aligning with the steady beat of the wheels, each inhale rising with their click, each exhale falling with their sigh. The pattern is natural, unforced, and you surrender to it easily. The land outside is emptier now, the fields stretching wide, the forests retreating into the distance. The snow glows faintly, silvered by the moon, and above, the sky deepens into an ocean of stars. You feel as though you are floating through this frozen dreamscape, the train not moving through the world but carrying the world past you, gently, silently, endlessly. The history of this place lingers in the quiet. You recall how, before the railway, journeys across Siberia could take months, traveled by horse-drawn sledges through endless snow, vulnerable to storms and exhaustion. The coming of the train changed everything, compressing vast distances into days, making the impossible suddenly possible. As you ride tonight, you carry that legacy with you, each mile a testament to the dream that once seemed too immense to realize. Another breath moves through you, long and even, your chest rising and falling with ease. The soundscape holds you, the hum of the locomotive, the soft groan of the carriages, the lull of the wheels. Each sound is softened, stretched, until it feels less like noise and more like rhythm, a steady current carrying you forward. Your gaze returns to the window one last time. The snow has thickened, falling in slow, steady flakes that swirl gently across the glass. They catch the lamplight as they pass, momentary sparks of silver before they vanish into the dark. The scene is hypnotic, a slow dance of light and shadow, of cold and warmth, of silence and sound. You feel your eyelids grow heavier as you watch, your body sinking further until the boundary between you and the world outside seems to dissolve. The train moves steadily onward, its pace unhurried, its path certain. Inside, you remain wrapped in calm, your body weightless yet heavy, your mind quiet, your breath slow. The journey is still, but you are already arriving not at a station, not at a place, but at a state of rest, carried smoothly towards sleep. As this gentle journey draws to its close, you feel the train beginning to slow, its rhythm easing into a softer, more unhurried pace. The steady clatter of the wheels grows quieter now, each turn drawn out, each sound fading more quickly into silence. The lamps inside the carriage burn low, they glow golden and calm, and the warmth around you seems to deepen as the night stretches on. Your body has settled completely, heavy and supported, every muscle released into comfort. The sway of the train is almost imperceptible now, a slow rocking that carries you deeper into stillness. Your breath has matched its rhythm without effort, rising and falling gently. Each exhale draws you closer to rest, as though the weight of the day is dissolving into the night air. Outside the window, snow drifts silently across the fields, each flake settling without sound, softening the world beneath it. The stars shimmer faintly above, their reflections dim on the frozen ground, distant and eternal, watching over your passage. You no longer need to follow the landscape, no longer need to hold to its details. The world outside can fade now, as the warmth within the carriage wraps around you like a blanket, complete and unbroken. The train hums on, quieter and quieter, until it feels like only a memory of motion, a whisper carrying you into dreams. You allow yourself to drift with it, unresisting, every thought loosening, every breath slower, every moment deeper. You have arrived, not at a station, but in a place of stillness, a place of peace. The journey continues without you needing to follow. All you need now is rest. Sweet dreams and good night.